Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to Third Eye Exchange. Today's reading is all about the eclipse that's going on right now. What are you letting go of and what's coming in its place, aka 1010, the 1010 reading. So maybe you've been seeing 1010 or maybe not, but take a few deep breaths, meditate, do whatever you need to do to get focused and pick your pile, and I'll see you in your pile. The 4 piles we have today are the Septarian egg, and the Florida water, which you can find in my shop. I will link it down below. It smells like notes of pumpkin, allspice, citrus, and as you can see, I'm almost done because I go through them very quickly. I just finished a new batch recently, so it's fully stocked if anybody wants some. Oh my goodness, here we go. Okay, then we have the protective cornetto broom. Now, for those of you that don't know, the cornetto is an ancient phallic symbol of protection. I make these, I hand make them, and I also put a bead ring on them for ornaments. This is one that's not quite finished. You will be able to find these in my shop very soon online. And last but not least, we have the Evil Eye pendant. So pick your pile and I will see you there. Love you. Bye. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Third Eye Exchange. Today, we are doing a very special pick a card reading, and it is all about what are you letting go of during this eclipse and what's coming in its place, bigger, better, more aligned. I know definitely, because this is a Virgo eclipse, I think a new moon, Virgo new moon. I've definitely been feeling like everything has to be tidy. If I'm not, I feel all over the place. I've definitely been feeling the eclipse energy. But I also feel like it's helping me like really prioritize and like bring to a head what really matters and what doesn't. So I filmed this a little bit earlier. I was like, when I started opening the channel and like setting up, some messages started coming through, some channeled messages. As I'm opening the channel, big emphasis on like needing, maybe that's why I'm wearing blue. And it's so weird because when I was getting ready to film today, one of the songs that really stood out to me, and I even remember saying to myself, like, maybe, excuse me, I'm clearing, I guess. Maybe I should mention this in my video. And that song is Blue by The Neighborhood. Basically, it's about, honestly, kind of like a toxic relationship, like a relationship where they're always fighting, I think, where one party is always left unsatisfied, like, doesn't have to be, like, intimately, just, like, drained, like, it's emotionally draining, it's not working. And yeah, like the blue, and like there's a huge throat chakra thing, so I don't know, I think that's the theme of what's going on for a lot of us, because today's theme is 1010, out with the old, in with the new for this eclipse season. So basically, like, what are you saying goodbye to and what are you bringing in its place, bigger and better, and like basically like a level up. So I think better communication is probably going to be collectively, like, for everybody, one of those things, definitely. Even like expressing yourself creatively better, because I just felt very drawn to my orange toenail polish, and that's the sacral energy. So maybe even expressing yourself sensually more clearly. Maybe you've been experiencing like blockages there, or maybe you're just gonna meet somebody that allows you to feel safe with that. There's also something about privacy. I kept hearing that song Privacy by Chris Brown. So, also today I do not have my tripod, so we'll be talking face to face. I'm gonna try to move back. Yeah, I'll move back a little bit more and lay out the cards. But today is, I'm so sorry if you hear the cat that I'm sitting. He is very vocal and it's not quite time for him to eat, but he likes to let me know 2 hours in advance that he needs to eat. So yeah, maybe you need to eat right now. Yes, so I decided I'm gonna do a little mini collective message, and I already shuffled all the decks. I pre-set them. I didn't look at the cards. Some of them like popped out and I briefly saw what was underneath it, but to be honest, I don't even really remember which pile was what. But I didn't cherry pick them. I never do. Okay, first card. But I'm gonna do a mini opening message. Okay, I guess this is what Spirit wants to talk about now. So we'll do tarot first, and then, yeah, you can't really see. Hang on, I'm trying to like figure out how you guys, you're not gonna be able to really see them. So sorry. I like watching the cards too during readings, but today we're just gonna talk to each other. Oh wow, okay, I was only gonna do 6, but I mean 4, but I guess now we're doing 6. We have 2 of Swords. We have, hang on, sorry, I'm like trying to make them neat so you can kind of see them. 9 of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Ace of Wands reversed. Queen of Cups reversed. Wow, interesting. The Fool reversed. I almost feel like the Fool needs to be upright. And then at the back of the tarot deck we have the Magician reversed. Immediately I'm like, I think one of the biggest themes right now is like things are going well for you, but you understand that very soon, like, it's kind of like what I said upon opening. You understand that like what you've been doing, and this is so, okay, interesting. What you've been doing so far, like, it's been, like, there's definitely been, like, it's borne fruit for you. Bared fruit for you, whatever. But it's also, like, I think you're just learning to let go of really anything that, like, gets you in your head too much. And, like, I think right now the best thing for you to do is to really just listen to your intuition, to kind of take you to the next step, because there is a choice here, but it almost feels like you're not making it yet, because by the end of this, it's the Fool. And it's crazy because they gave me 6 cards, and 6 was like, I shuffle each deck, like, usually, like, 4 times, sometimes 6 times, 8 times, whatever I intuitively feel when I'm setting up. But a lot of the decks today were 6, like, 6 times. And they made me think of, like, a reading I had done where they showed me, like, they emphasized, like, the number 6 and that I had done for somebody. And her birthday, I mentioned 6. I was like, that's a really important number for you. And she ended up, her birthday was like 6/6/66. I was like, so, that definitely was coming through. Like, 6 is a big number. So I don't know if it's like June, or the next 6 months, maybe there's like the changes that are going to be happening. You're going to start noticing a big shifts within the next 6 months. It could also be that, you're bringing in more balance, more harmony, more connections into your life that are more aligned. But one of the things I think you've been struggling with is knowing your own power up to this point. Like, they kept saying, take the reins, take the reins, take the reins, take the reins. So maybe that's what this, well, not maybe, that's what this new chapter will be about. The Hermit reversed, coming out of hiding. 6 of Cups underneath that. The Moon. Yeah, like inner child stuff. Maybe meeting people that are like part of your soul tribe, that you feel like a deep childlike connection to. So there's a lot of good coming in, but I do feel like right now you're kind of like in a moment of feeling unfulfilled. If you haven't been experiencing that yet, over the next 6 months, that's probably as a collective, like, so I feel like there was like a wave of this 6 months ago, like this exact scenario collectively. So if you're part of that first wave, then this message is not for you. The message that I'm about to say is not for you, or that I just said, you guys, you know what I'm saying. But if you haven't experienced this yet, that's what I'm trying to say, then this message will be like actively for you forthcoming. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope it does. Okay, so we'll look at I'm going to look at underneath the decks as whatever messages are for you. So also these changes are going to be things that, I probably said this already, but like are much more financially and emotionally fulfilling. Like, the heart is the extension of finances as well. You might have noticed, like, some people seem to have it all, right? Like, that's because they're in this vibration, actively in this vibration. Those that really have it, anyway. Like, when you clear heart blockages, when you open up your heart, when you clear blockages, it also allows money to come in more easily and in larger quantities, because you're able to receive it. You're open to it. Your heart is open. You're giving and receiving. I'm really surprised the 6 of Pentacles didn't come up, to be honest, because that's kind of the vibe here. Like, what you're going to be seeing better results for what you're giving out. And I think also this is a really good time to kind of take stock of like what, like, things you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't worked, kind of like cleaning house, so to speak. I mean, maybe literally too, because of the Virgo new moon eclipse, maybe literally, and just getting rid of anything that doesn't align, literally anything that doesn't align anymore. Like, even if you've had it forever, and like things that you're like, I never use this, like, not like useful investments, you know, like, I'm talking about clothing, pictures even that, you know, like, you'll never regret letting go of, articles from like relationships or jobs you've had in the past that don't serve you anymore, that left a bad taste in your mouth. Like, just, you might even want to like redo your house right now, like things in your house, fix things that you've been putting off for too long, start better habits, better routines. You might have been eating differently lately. Your sleep might be differently. You might suddenly have an urge to just like be on your shit, like be on your A game. So look at the things that aren't serving you, and you might have already just intuitively been doing this, and these things are going to help you clean house. As I said, there's a big emphasis on clean house, clearing out house, in order to make space for what's coming. It's huge shifts. This is for whether you've experienced this the first wave or the second wave. Like, we're all going to go through this. We're going to see this, but I think in different avenues. I want to say realms. So maybe some of you are going to be opening up to other realms. So first we have the Scientist. I will share my creativity with the world. So maybe like passion projects. Or maybe you're going to be finding new ways to do things that you've never thought before that work for you better. And also aren't as strenuous and stressful. Standing alone. So first I want to say number 3. This simplifies to 3. That's expansion. That's Jupiter. That's also creativity. Standing alone, the 24 simplifies to 6, but this is also in the reverse position. So I feel like it's like I said, like you're going to be meeting people that are much more in alignment with you in every sense of the phrase, whether it's business or if you have a career or, I mean, whatever. Excuse me. I guess I'm clearing. And, or like relationships, family relationships, like people that like extended family or even like family that you haven't spoken to in a while might come back around and like try to hash some things out. This is like really specific. The underworld. Hand over your known. Yo! Bro. This deck. Hand over your known. A shift is near. Take a leap. Your journey is clear. What did I say? Yeah, that also kind of piggybacks off of like what we were talking about. Like letting go, like feeling like you're in a place where like, oh, sorry, this is what I was gonna say. Like you might be feeling, oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. You might have been feeling lately like, I feel like I'm clearing so much energy right now. Oh my god, why can't I get this out? I don't know. You're getting ready for the next chapter. Put it that way. I'm not sure why all of a sudden I like lost my train of thought, but there's always a reason for that. Vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. I want to say this, and I'll make a whole separate video on this if you guys want me to. I think I'm going to anyway. But recently, part of one of the cycles that I've been putting to bed, I was vegan vegetarian for 6 years. I even got through Italy, vegetarian anyway. And I recently made the choice to start eating meat again. So when I see this card, I no longer think of it as, oh, you have to be vegan or vegetarian. Everybody is different. Everybody has different needs, even just genetically. Like, we're still in a human form. Let's not forget that. That's a big one. That's a big one. Remembering our humility. But you might find that like your eating habits have been changing. You might not be craving junk food anymore. You might not be craving the same type of eating. You might be eating less or eating a little bit more. Or maybe wanting to try a new way of eating. So be open to that. You're intuitively feeling the shift, and listen to your body. Listen to your body. Next, we have express your love. Ooh. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Oh, shit. Yeah, there's green here, too. Damn. Like, in the next chapter, I use this deck on purpose because I was like, we need a little love message in here. You guys know how I am by now, I hope. But so this could also be, look at me cheesing over here, low-key feeling called out. But express your love, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. I just want to laugh. And go ahead and make the romantic gesture for the 5th time. It might be that, like, it doesn't have to be romantic. I did want a little something something, so I did put one of these in each pile. But this is also like about, like, this new shift is about expressing ourselves better, communicating better, understanding that, like, it's safe for us to communicate, it's safe for us to open our hearts. Not only just expressing how we feel to people, but maybe even allowing ourselves to be open to other people expressing themselves to us. So maybe a new love interest if you're single, or maybe like I said, there could just be like also family themes here of like hashing things out from the past, or even friendships. That could apply to like friendships also, past friends. But also, like, again, expressing ourselves authentically and like clearly and more connected to ourselves than I think ever before. Okay. Anyway. Stimulation. Bitch. Oh, this is what I wanted to say before. That when I lost my train of thought. Maybe there's a reason it's coming out now. Like, this energy from the eclipse could also have you been feeling like the past, I want to say 2-3 few weeks, even the past week especially, like just being a hermit. Like, literally the hermit card is ruled by Virgo. So, and I'm not saying that all Virgos are hermits, because that actually is very much not true. They're very good with communication because they're ruled by Mercury. But they also are very, like, analytical thinkers. So you might have been in an energy lately where you're, like, exhausted from, like, being around people, and maybe have been needing, like, feeling like you need to just sit with yourself. Like, whether you want to or not, you just feel like I need, like, even, like, just silence. Like, whereas you might be someone who's, like, a background noise kind of person, like, you might have been like, nah, like, I need silence right now. Like, peace and quiet to, like, sit with my thoughts. Stimulation. And this simplifies. Oh my god, my leg's asleep, guys. This is 9. So the end of a cycle. I want to feel, because everything that happens during a reading always means something. I feel like, because this is the left leg, so this was like the feminine side, the root of the feminine side, and we also have more red here. So I almost feel like we are, like, fully stepping into and acclimating to the feminine energy from a more healed, full place, like, within ourselves. We're waking up. Yeah, see, now it's starting to subside. We're waking up to that. And also, like, allowing ourselves to experience pleasure. And I'm not even talking about, like, necessarily sexually. That could be part of it. Could be that, like, you haven't, like, had the opportunity to express yourself in that way for some time. And that's where the potential new love interest might come in. But I do want to say, set the standard for yourself and don't stray from that. I got my own personal spiritual beliefs about that. I think, like, celibacy is very important at a big, at certain stages. Of our journey. I think it's not good to get embroiled in situationships, but it's also, like, the spiritual journey doesn't discriminate. Like, whether you are at that point or you're not, like, doesn't make you any less spiritual. I've just noticed throughout my own journey what I've learned over time, keeping my energy free of like partners or a lot of partners or the wrong partners. That's the key here. Especially if you're not, you're not in a place where like you're necessarily emotionally available as you would like to be, or things seem to not be working out for you. That might be why. And maybe for some of you, part of this like next chapter is going to be like realizing the steps we need to take to open ourselves and back up again, and that there's some healing that needs to be done. This could also be though about like really rooting things into the physical. Like, I don't know, like when I said passion project before, my mind keeps going back to that. Like I keep feeling like passion project, passion. Like there's something really significant about that here. Communication, another 9. Yeah. A lot about expression. Like I said, maybe that's why I'm in this blue little getup today. Cause this was like not planned. I was like, oh, like I'll probably wear this top and maybe these pants, but then this just hit me like a ton of bricks in a good way. I was like, I gotta wear that. So here we are. Radiance. What number? 2. Nice. Yeah, I think this actually is like your time to shine. Hang on. Yeah, I think maybe me too, probably me too. We're breaking through barriers. We're breaking through, like I'm saying walls that we've built up, but it's almost like, yeah, there's another way I wanted to phrase it, but that works too. Also, maybe allowing ourselves to be like more flexible, but nonetheless shining like the shooting stars that we are. So I hope you enjoyed your collective reading. Now we're gonna get into, and by the way, I am gonna put timestamps below because I know this was longer than I thought it was gonna be, which is totally fine. I just wasn't expecting that. But I hope you enjoyed the collective message, and now we're gonna get into your pile, which I hope is much more personal and detailed. I'm like, should I do charms? Fuck it. We'll do one for what energy am I moving out of and moving into. We'll see what they say. All right, Spirit, what energy are we moving out of? Leo. Interesting. So what's interesting here is like, even though, like I said, like we're learning to shine, that is Leo energy. That always gives me Leo vibes. The dark side of Leo could sometimes be like arrogance, and also impulsiveness. I think we're learning now to balance that and ground ourselves more. Okay, and then what energy are we moving into? Could also be self-doubt that we're moving out of. Self-doubt, indecision, letting life decide for us. And honestly, how many times have we done that and not been pleased with the outcome? Aquarius. This is not what, and I think they're completely opposite too. Oh shit. I'm pretty sure. That's awesome. the nodes, but the nodes aren't even in Leo and Aquarius. But so the energy we're moving into is like definitely more creativity, forward thinking, free thinking, putting, making more friends, more connections, being able to stand on our own 2 feet, but without I want to say risking a good thing, like, and not being afraid to like express ourselves authentically. That's such a big energy here, and I think it's going to flow into all aspects of your life, and it's going to bring in some incredible people, places, and things for you. Also could be travel too, because I know quite a few Aquarians that love to travel. So yeah, so I love you, and I'll see you in your pile. Thanks for watching the collective message. If you did, don't forget to like, comment down below your experience of these shifts going on, your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Septarian egg, this is your reading. Bro, it's not time for you to eat. I'll tell you when it's time. Maybe that's a message for you. Okay, so he's crazy. So pile 1, welcome to your reading. Today, I know if you've seen the intro, you already know, but today we're going to be talking face to face because I don't have my tripod. So I hope you enjoy seeing my face. If you don't, then do your thing. Like, I don't know. Don't look. I prefer seeing the cards too when I do reading, when I see readings and do readings, but it's okay. We do what we gotta do. Okay. So what are we letting go of, and what are we bringing in its place for pile 1, Spirit? Thank you. What are we letting go of? And what are, no. Bro. Damn. No. Like, yes, but no. Also, I feel like you guys have been tired lately. Like, really tired. Because when I was, like, shifting from the collective message, I, like, laid on my side for a couple minutes and was like, holy shit. So you might have been sleeping more. Or needing to sleep more. Like, your energy is just like, whoa. Spirit, what energy are they coming out of and moving into during this eclipse season? Oh, very nice. Okay, we'll see. I can move these. I can like try to move these. I want you to see the oracle cards when it's time. I think we can make that work. And when it's time, I have your oracle cards here, which I'll leave to the side. Should be able to do this. Okay. I don't know why I want to tell you guys, if any of you do the kind of work that I do where you channel, coffee is going to really help you, even though you would think that it wouldn't because it's caffeine. And we always recommend for any Reiki and stuff, limit caffeine. It really helps me with my focus. And it brings you up more. Oh shit, this is awesome. Okay. That's pile 1, letting go of and bringing in its place. Okay, now I know why they did that. First thing I want to say, lack mindset. That's that's really a big thing that you're letting go of. All of them came out except this one. Oh shit, okay. There's a few messages here actually. So we have 7 of Pentacles reversed, 3 of Swords, 10 of Cups, 8 of Cups reversed, Page of Pentacles reversed, the Moon, 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands. I'm telling you, those sixes. And then at the back of the deck, we have 10 of Pentacles reversed. But that's where it made me feel like lack mindset or lack mentality. Or like you're also just coming out of a time, I feel like, where in more ways than one, whether it's like financial, career, love, like you're definitely dealing with like some kind of disappointment and heartbreak right now, because we've got 3 of Swords here. I mean, or you feel like like I said, in more ways than one, like things just haven't been like working out for you the way that you had hoped or the way that you've hoped. But I feel like one of the things that is really being highlighted here is like you haven't given yourself enough time or space to like really sit and think, like to be with yourself and really figure out what it is that you want, what it is that you need, what it is that hasn't been working. Because I feel like the problem is not you being able to pinpoint what hasn't been working. The problem is that you haven't been giving yourself time to sit and really nurture a space where you can come to those realizations or like get that clarity. Because you are very intuitive. We have the Moon here. You're very intuitive and you're very connected to your inner child at the core of you. But I do feel like there's been a lot of stress around money. It could even be like relationships. There's an oracle card that's gonna like potentially touch upon that too. But I do feel like like I said, you're coming into a time where like I think you're gonna start realizing like what needs to go, what's unnecessary for your journey, what's been causing blockages and resistance. I don't know why I want to say unwanted side effects. Maybe that's why I brought up the caffeine. So maybe you've been very sensitive to certain substances and like you need to quit certain things. Could be like cigarettes, could be like anything really. Anything that doesn't serve you. But I think, like I said, you really need to give yourself some of that space, because I also think what's coming is like you being able to, because it could also be because I was feeling this vibe too, like you've been working yourself to the bone, and that's a big message here. Like you've been working yourself to the bone and like not getting compensated what you deserve out of it, and that's even more draining. So I feel like you're, like I said, sit with yourself. Or you might have already started to do this and like reflect on like what you need to let go of, what needs to change, maybe who you need to let go of, and move into like calmer waters and get to a place where it's like you do things that nurture your inner child. You do things where like you can have fun just for the sake of it. Like sometimes like there doesn't ever need to be a reason. We have been conditioned to feel like we have to earn downtime or earn play or earn rest or earn a vacation, but we don't. Our body and our mind and our spirit has cycles for a reason. The moon and the stars and the sun and the earth have cycles for a reason. So we need to listen to them, and you need to start connecting. That's the Septarian crystal. You might want, if you don't have one already, I recommend it. Septarian is very grounding. Very grounding. Through doing all of these things, letting go, it's going to put you in a better headspace, a better mindset, and it's going to allow you to accept things, to be more in flow, to be more in your feminine energy, and allow yourself to receive comfortably and more healthy, I might add. Like that's a big thing coming up here. Just the healthier versions of things. This is lit. Okay. One of my spirit guides goes, insane. Yeah, that was a drastic transition, wasn't it? Anomaly. Oh my god, like before we even get into the rest of them, it's like you might be somebody that's gonna do something that's never been done before and like do it successfully, and that's why like things are taking longer or things haven't panned out, because you're not supposed to follow, like that's a big theme here. Like you're not supposed to follow what society is saying. Like you're supposed to break out of the molds. Okay, we have Blue Lotus initiation. Number 5, changes. And that's near, that fell out, jumped out on 6 of Cups. So we'll leave it there. Unrequited love. That's so crazy because that's literally in the same position as the 3 of Swords. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That could also double as like not entertaining things anymore that you know really aren't serving you, or like if you're a business owner or in your career, like things that you know, like even if it's just intuitively and other people can't see it, you know long term, like this isn't serving me. Chemistry. Oh yeah, this was the one that there were 2. Opportunity. Oh wait, let me show you them. Okay, I showed you that one. Okay, unrequited love. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Chemistry. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I just got a glimpse of my nails, and I'm like, bitch, I feel like myself again. Maybe that's what's gonna happen to you. Like, I feel like that's like, that's where you're headed. Like, you might have been like going through it for a while and like the struggle, like, but I feel like you're getting to a place. Like after this shift, like what's coming in after you let all these things go, all these problematic ass things, like you're just getting to a place where you're like, bitch, I feel like myself again. 2020 might be significant. The year 2020. Maybe you had a spiritual awakening. Maybe you're gonna have an awakening similar to like the one I had in 2020. Literally, it's just a whole thing. Like, it's a whole thing. Maybe I should make a video about that. But it basically, like, ever since 2020, I want to say, especially the last 5 years, especially, like, yeah, honestly, yeah. The last 5 years have been a journey, and it all started in 2020. It was like, if you know, you know. So maybe that's significant, or maybe you're gonna go through a really huge shift over the next 5 years the way that I did. Like, maybe this is your mass ascension, like, or your first very big ascension in this lifetime. Like, everything is gonna shift, but for the better. Like, if you're feeling scared, don't be scared. Like, there's gonna be times, but I also feel like, I don't know, the vibe that I'm getting here also, though, is like, work smarter, not harder. So, like, just learning how to navigate things in a way that makes more sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even necessarily like, I think you've been going through the trials. So, oh, this was supposed to go for, oh, well, you know what? This is the whole vibe. Like, you're not supposed to do it the way everybody else does it. So fuck it. Let's go. All right, I just laid all these out, and then I'm gonna go over them with you. Okay, so we have the anomaly. We have unrequited love, chemistry, opportunity. I love that. Energy. You might even find after a period of like burnout, because you've been, honestly, sometimes that happens when we near the end of a cycle, because a lot of the things that we're about to let go of are no longer in alignment with us. We might experience like extreme burnout or just like pessimism or low vibration, depletion, any of those things. And then once we make that leap, soon after, or once things start to settle in the new timeline, the new vibration, we suddenly have a burst of energy. Debt paid off. Also, creativity might be significant here. Debt paid off. This could be about karmic debt. It could be about finances. There were a few pentacle cards here. So I definitely feel like finances were significant, but I do feel like you're going to be in a much better standing now. Like you may even start being able to pay your debts off that like you might have felt like you were on like a merry-go-round or like a little hamster wheel. And then you may kind of come into an opportunity or a new job or a situation that allows you more wiggle room when it comes to spending, or that's going to allow you to pay off your debts and maybe even have some fun money. But definitely don't sleep on the fact that could be you paying off a karmic debt. So and that's why things are shifting the way they are for you now. So be proud of yourself. Crystals and herbs. Oh, what medicine, what sacredness to behold. A dash of healing straight from mother's home. I told you about the septarian. Get yourself some septarian. Maybe start making yourself tea. Start researching different herbs. Start working with different herbs if you feel called. This might be my pile that is interested in witchcraft. If you're not, it's okay. If that's not for you, take what resonates. But you might start doing something like apothecary stuff, or you might make things that are like related to like holistic medicine of some sort, or that might start to interest you. But like I said, I definitely think grounding's important for you right now. Get yourself a septarian. It helps with that. It also helps with, I believe, grounding bigger like life changes, I believe. A beautiful face. Yeah, there's 3s here. There's a few 3s, 5s, 10, out with the old, in with the new. A beautiful face, but this is in reverse. I feel like you've been so stressed that like you're kind of like starting to not even recognize yourself, or that's how you've been feeling lately or recently. But like I said, I think it's because of this energy of like misalignment. Excuse me. Once you like start releasing things, I think you're gonna start to, I also think like part of this journey that's shifting is like either you're now coming into a time where you have immense self-love for yourself, or that's kind of what this journey that you're stepping into is going to be about. So that's a message for 2 different types of people that are essentially the same person in different timelines. The explorer. I will absorb knowledge and learn all I can. Yeah. I think you might even meet people very soon. Like as soon as you take the leap and like jump onto like a new timeline, you're gonna meet people and start aligning with people that are like teachers. Like that, or you're gonna learn a lot about like, because I feel like you're really stepping into like, it doesn't have to be, but you're stepping in more into alignment spiritually. You could have been burning like colored candles recently, and like all of a sudden like The reason I'm saying this, and I think they're giving me this because, and why I referenced this to 2020 was because around the same time, and it could be also that you're like intuitively drawn to it and that's why you do it, but I think everything's connected. Like, you could have started burning like spell candles. That's what I'm trying to say. Spell candles. Just like in prayer, like actually for the first time in a long time started connecting with yourself and your like in 2020, that's kind of like when lockdown was about to happen for COVID. Like, I literally had these candles that I bought ages ago in my drawer, like had come with me through several moves, and I finally got to a point where I was like, I need to burn these. Like, I didn't even know when it happened or why it happened, but I was like, I don't even think I used to watch pick a cards at this time. Like, I was just like, I need to burn these. Like, and I need to pray because I was going through a lot. And I didn't really know where to start. So I just would like burn these candles, and like I looked up all their meanings, and like I would burn these candles and just like would like say prayers or like over them for a lot of these things. And just set intentions. So maybe that's like an experience that you've been like called to do or like have been feeling or even like started doing yourself and you don't know where it came from randomly recently. But yeah, so who knew? So yeah, but I do want to say by the end of this, wherever you're at on your journey, whether you're about to step onto this long path or you're coming into a better time, and I do feel like I said, for a lot of you, you've been going through these trials already and healing them. A lot of great things are coming in. If you do have a business, I see a lot of prosperity coming in for you. I feel a reconnection with your inner child, healing your inner child, and meeting amazing people and having opportunities to meet people and have experiences that really align with that and like fill you up and pour into you. Because you deserve it and you haven't always experienced that kind of kindness. I just saw 2112. Could even be meeting a divine counterpart at some point. So, could be soon, but that really wasn't the focus here from Spirit. So I'm not going to touch upon it too much. But I do have love readings, so if you want to know what's next in love, there are a couple really good love readings on my channel right now. So before we go, I forgot to do charms. There's always one pile I forget to do something with. All right, we'll do one for the energy of what you're coming out of, and then one for the energy that you're moving into. So we are moving out of Gemini energy. This could mean that maybe there was a time in your life where like you felt very flighty, non-committal, kind of like maybe even didn't know what you wanted, and also very in your head. Or like had a bunch of ideas but had a hard time grounding them. Sometimes that happens with air sign energy, or Geminis. I know they get very stuck in their head sometimes. So it's hard for them to, Virgo energy. Both are ruled by Mercury. So communication is probably a big thing for you. You might connect with people really well through like deep conversations, but Virgo energy is much more structured, much more detail oriented, task oriented, routine oriented. I would definitely, if I had to sum this up, I would say like you're getting into a phase where like you're not so enamored by the chase anymore. That could be just like in general or even in relationships. Virgo energy is much more stable, much more solid, much more self-assured even. So, and yeah, but also Virgo comes up with a plan and doesn't just rely on good old luck. So I hope I didn't offend any Geminis. That's not my intention. That's just like the shadow side of Geminis. But Geminis have great energy in a lot of ways too. Like, definitely have admirable traits. But anyway, I just saw 222. So anyway, those were your charms. I love you guys. Mwah. See you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the Florida water, this is your pile. You can find this in my online shop. I will link it down below. It smells like cinnamon, Halloween, spices. Well, not just cinnamon. I would say like spices, citrus, little pumpkin there, here and there every once in a while. So yes, it is fragrance-free, essential oil-free. It's made with distilled water, alcohol, and fresh herbs and spices. That's it. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna get into your reading. All right, Spirit, tap me into pile 2. I am tearing up a little bit, so that song Privacy by Chris Brown keeps playing in my head over and over and over again since I ended pile 1. So maybe that privacy is significant for you at this time. All right, Spirit, what is pile 2 saying goodbye to, and what is coming in its place during the eclipse season? Okay, so I'm gonna try to back up so you can see them a little. I'll tell you what they are. Oh, by the way, guys, I don't have my tripod today because I'm pet sitting and house sitting, so kind of far away from me. So this is gonna have to do. All right, Spirit. I feel like there's a lot of confusion with you guys right now. Oh shit, okay. So we've got the Artist, we've got the 9 of Cups, we've got Page of Cups, we've got Knight of Wands reversed, Ace of Swords, the Devil, 8 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, the Sun. I don't know if I should do it upright or reversed. Well, I kind of always see the Sun as a good card. We have the Queen of Wands behind it. I feel like, okay, you're gonna be coming out of a time of depression. I think that's why the Sun wanted to, because I kept saying, guys, upright or reverse, and they're like, reverse, and I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, it's not that serious. Like it is, but it isn't. And I was like, what do they mean? So I realized, I was like, oh, you're coming out of a time of depression and also feeling like I don't know why I want to say you haven't felt everything there is to feel. So with the artist, starting in like the artist, it's almost like, okay, maybe you've been creating things. Maybe that's a way that you even get through your emotion. My throat chakra is like on fire. Maybe that's even a way that you have like gotten through life, is like creating art, whether it's like writing or I want to say cinema. That's weird. Maybe you do write your own scripts. Could be writing, could be acting, could be art, like actual like art, sculpting, you name it. Music, whatever, all the art. And that was something that always felt good to you. But I do feel like there's been things like you've been getting in your own way, because there might be things or people in your life or addictions, definitely, like I feel like addictions that have been keeping you trapped, keeping you from leveling up in your life. And that could be like in more ways than one, but I do honestly feel like this could be like substance abuse. But I do, what's crazy is I feel like even though you've been struggling with it, you're not at the point where you don't have self-control. I think this is something that you've used as a vice. I almost want to say, oh my God, straight up, if you stop doing this, like if you stop with like the nonsense and the drugs and like entertaining people and things that like are not good for you, you know exactly what these things are. Your art, once you let yourself feel into the emotions that you've been avoiding through this, or like using this to cope instead of facing yourself and all the things that you need to process, your art is honestly gonna get so much better. Because maybe that's like a thing too. It's like you've been feeling like you haven't been getting maybe the recognition that you deserve from it. But honestly, like, or that even it's like it's emotionally fulfilling for you, but you're not yielding the results that you want. But it's because you haven't been 100% connected to yourself. Like, because you've been like very, I want to say very avoidant of certain things that maybe that you went through. It could be childhood. I'm not really getting a huge, like, I mean, a lot of things stem from childhood. Damn, my throat chakra is on fire, guys. Like, straight up. Yeah. Like, as soon as you, like, literally, 8 of Swords is basically, you see how, honestly, she's not, like, her hands are not tied. She can literally get herself out of her situation. Sometimes we choose by not choosing, even. If we don't make a choice, that is a choice in and of itself. But once you make that decision to, like, turn your life around, I want to say, and even get help if you need it. It's okay if you do. Everything's like, this is, sorry, I have like so many things I want to go through. I feel like in letting all these things go, and you might even find that the energy, even just astrologically, you might even have found yourself in this energy lately of like not even being able to like deal with those vices that you've been dealing with, or like haven't been feeling so drawn to them, because intuitively, like, your spirit is getting ready for this shift. If this hasn't already like been happening, it's gonna start happening. But you gotta meet spirit halfway. You know what I mean? You gotta do the work too. But this Wheel of Fortune, like, this is at the end, and we have the sun was reversed, but it's because like I said before, like, you're coming out of this like hole that you dug yourself into. And that's not to say that, like, you shouldn't have felt the way that you felt. That's not true, but I've found, especially if you have struggled with like addictions or substance abuse, and listen, addictions don't just have to be drugs. It could be to people, it could be to food, like bad food, junk food, it could be to bad habits, it could be to like a victim mindset, it could be to like literally like anything. Now that we're done with the tarot cards, as we know, what I've been doing lately, I've been shuffling and taking out. I don't cherry pick the cards ever. Sometimes I'll see them, but I literally forget because I'm just trying to get the setup done. It takes a while. So let's see what your cards are, and then we're gonna get into some charms at the end. So Spirit, what do we got for pile 2? We have Bond. Also, stop second guessing yourself. Forgiving and learning. Wow, this is interesting. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I feel like that might be something that ends up coming up for you to face and is going to reflect in your art. Or through this journey that you're embarking on of like being fully present, you're going to be able, like I said, to process things differently, and your art is going to shift because of that messages. You may even get like intuitive messages much more easily once you clear the channel. Luck. I love that. So this is funny. This happened in my last pile too. This shot out and ended up on the 8 of Swords. So completion, calm-free, which 30 and 32 adds up to 5. Which you can't really see it on here because the quality is not as good as my phone, but we do what we can do. New home. Maybe you will be moving. You could be. Definitely, that could be one of the blessings that comes in because of this cycle. It could also be mending a relationship that allows you to come home. If this is like a marriage that you're mending, like you're gonna have like feel this renewed energy around the home. But if this is like familial bonds, or even a bond with yourself, like I just think that like you're gonna feel like you finally feel, I want to say loved, or you finally feel like a place that feels like home. Like Graveyard. There is a song that bellows in the peace of knowing no end, and acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. I also feel like something that may be coming into to teach you, or something that you're gonna learn in this new phase, is just to give up some control. Like, because maybe that's what the vices you were using were about, was about feeling in control. But just allowing yourself to surrender, allowing yourself to set yourself free, to receive, to experience, to let things out, to process, to love, to grieve. Allow yourself to really sift through things. And so many 9s here. There was 9 of Cups. This is like in the end of an emotional cycle. Sorry, my computer keeps like, the screen keeps going blank, so it's annoying me. Graveyard. Doubt and indecision, 9, but it was in the reverse, so I do feel like you're coming, like I said, like you keep doubting yourself. You keep doubting yourself. But you're coming out of that. I think it's going to put you in a much healthier position. The Henchman. I will collaborate with others to achieve amazing things. This 16 simplifies to a 7. That's a very spiritual number. I think through the spiritual awakening and through like this newfound sobriety in whatever sense of the phrase we're talking about, this is really helping you unlock a new level of emotional availability and creativity because of this healing that you're doing, because of these things, maybe even guilt. It could be guilt that and shame, guilt and shame that you've held on to for so long, and it kept you from living your life. It kept you from allowing things to flow because you felt like you had to hold on so tightly and always be in control. That's not life, babe. That's trauma. Spirit, take the reins. And then, okay, let's do charms. Spirit, what energy is pile 2 leaving, and what energy are they bringing in? We could also make it a cycle. Same thing. What energy is pile 2 leaving? Virgo energy, letting go of control, baby. Also feeling like you have to have it all figured out all the time. Or that you can only do things one way. I've also noticed, I think because Virgos are such analytical thinkers and are in their head a lot, and harsh critics, people don't realize this about Virgos. If you meet a Virgo that's very harsh, like critically harsh towards other people, their inner critic is like 10 times as bad, whether they know it coherently or not. That's why they do that. Anybody really, but Virgos I've noticed, so maybe even like your self-judgment, like that's gonna be something that you start to shake hands with and like use it as a tool rather than something that constantly feeds your self-hatred. Damn. And then what's next? Scorpio. Okay, that's not what I was expecting, but okay, so Scorpio. So a phase of really feeling into our emotions, really allowing ourselves to connect, to feel, to immerse ourselves. Could also be allowing ourselves to like embrace intimacy with people, and that doesn't have to be sexually either, but really allow ourselves to embrace that and open up to it on like a really authentic, deep, raw level, like letting ourselves finally, and knowing that like as we move through life, there are going to be shifts. There are going to be things that happen that are beyond our control, but that's okay. And we trust our intuition, and we know that all of these things are always here to teach us. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. That's constant evolution. Constant rebirth in your life, and being okay with it. So, pile 2, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you liked it, please don't forget to comment down below your experience. I would love to hear what you guys are experiencing through this very big and important shift that we're all going through right now. So let me know down below in the comments, and also if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. But I love you, and I hope to see you again really soon. Love you. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the cornetto broom ornament, this one isn't fully made, but if you chose the cornetto broom ornament of protection, this reading is for you. I didn't cherry pick the oracle cards. I just set them up this way so we can get down to business sooner instead of watching me shuffle a million decks. So I wanted to say, like, I took a mini break to get a couple things done in between pile 2 and pile 3, and I was washing my hands and kept with jasmine, and then I kept thinking, I was like, that's relevant for pile 3, jasmine. So I looked up the meaning of jasmine, and it means divine love, emotional balance, openness, receiving. So you can look up, there's a few more, but that's the gist of it. And then I kept hearing that song Runaway Love by Justin Bieber. So I guess that's your song. But yeah, let's get in pile 3. Spirit, tap me into pile 3. What is, here, I'll move this. We'll get into this when I'm done. And also, we've got charms for the end, so. Spirit, tap me into pile 3. What are they letting go of this eclipse and welcoming? What's pile 3 letting go of? And what are they welcoming? Honestly, you could end up meeting a partner. Like, because those messages that already came through, I was like, oh. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna take it. Spirit, tap me into pile 3. Interesting. Here, we'll move all these up. Damn, I should have done this to begin with. What is pile 3 letting go of, and what are they welcoming during this eclipse season? 2 more, please, Spirit. Whoa! Okay, I'm gonna put these to the side because they came out too, but the Lovers. They gave me a lot of cards, so I'm gonna put these aside in case we need them. Okay? In case we need them for clarifiers. We've got 5 of Wands reversed at the back. We'll start there. Here. Okay, you can see. Now we have Page of Cups reversed. We have Judgment reversed. We have Knight of Swords. I want to say immediately, this is somebody who's like very definitive in their actions. High Priestess reversed, the Devil. Interesting. Page of Wands. 6 of Swords. Moving on from heartbreak. I'm saying it as I'm hearing it right now. The World. It came out reversed, but they were like, you could keep it upright. So I was like, okay. As like by the way cards, we have 2 of Pentacles reversed and Justice. And we had the Lovers. The Lovers came out reversed, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna put these at the bottom. Oh wait, no. Yeah, you know what? That's how it was meant to be. Oh shit. Okay. I almost feel like this was your old story, the first 8, and they did this with a lot more cards than the other ones. And then this is your new story. know what they're doing. Sometimes they give me a spread that's like, and I wasn't going to use this for these, but this is kind of what's coming through, like mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. I'm going to turn this around because now I understand why they gave me that. I almost feel like you are so used to and almost addicted to, like, you don't believe that, like, you can have this love. Like, this has been a struggle for you. But I feel like you're here. Like, you're like at this point, dude. Like, truthfully, like, hang on. I think one of your struggles might be, like, right now, not having, like, discipline. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're so, like, in your head, because I feel like there's an aspect of you at the moment you're working on coming into, like, bringing into balance. We also have temperance here. And I don't typically take temperance as this, but it also could be as, like, bringing things into balance. We also have justice. So ultimately, like, Two of Pentacles is, like, I like to see it often as, like, trying to juggle things and, like, just being focused on, like, the task at hand. With that in the reverse, it's kind of like one of the things exiting is, like, you lacking the discipline to, like, see things through that you want to see come to fruition and that you want to make happen for yourself. It could be, like, fitness goals. That was kind of one that was coming up. Fitness goals. It could be, like, career goals. It could be passion projects. That was a big theme in the collective message before I dove into the piles. Like, so this is starting to come into balance. Maybe even you might have travel coming up. But I also feel like there's, like, a defensiveness coming down. Like, your defense, your walls are going to start coming down. I feel like before it was really about it was about, like, learning lessons, settling karma, doing away with, like, karma that you came here to sift through, like, in the first half of your life. This is, like, low-key kind of a love reading, but it could also be, like, other themes in your life. It could tie into it. And this is, like I said, like, you almost feel like you can't have this, but it's also, like, spiritually, like, you are, like, you're doing what you need to do. Like, you're starting to really prioritize your mental health. You're moving away from things that don't serve you. Even, especially, like, even on a spiritual level, like, there might be certain people, places, things that no longer resonate with you. So, like something as simple as, like, cleaning out your phone library, of, like, old messages, old contacts, people that you haven't, that were from, like, a time and a place that, like, is just not you anymore. Or even, like, songs in your library. If I know a lot of empaths, like, or if you're clairaudient, like, that's a big deal. Like, only keeping high vibrational things around you. And, like, even though, yes, we do have the Tower here, it could mean, like, a spiritual awakening. And what's really sticking out to me is the Magician in reverse. I kind of feel like it's tying into the Queen of Wands and the Lovers, of, like, you feeling like maybe you're gonna, like, this love isn't for you. Maybe, like, maybe these things aren't for you. And I want to say, like, in the process, it feels like that. It feels like that. But it's like, dude, like, this is something you've been wanting to manifest for so long, and you're, like, so close. But it's like, you have to have patience. You have to have patience and just tend to yourself. I know that's so cliche, but it's like, tend to yourself and, like, you know, like, keep working on, like, building your empire. Keep working on, like, practicing letting your guard down when you know that it's safe to do so. And you don't have to do it all at once either. Like, this is all a process. It's your life. It's your journey. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Even when things are uncertain. It could also be like, you know, you, like, they kind of gave it to me as, like, that way, but it could also be like you and this person. You know what I mean? Or this person and you, like, each of you are kind of still going through certain things, walking away from certain things, tying up loose ends on certain things. But you're getting really close. Like, and you're starting to expand and maybe even heal your root chakra to the point where you don't feel like you always have to be on guard, you know? Let's get into, and that's important when we're trying to bring in manifestations. And you might be impatient and feel like, what, you know, it hasn't come in. Just because it hasn't, like, think back to, like, you know, I feel like I can say this to you because I feel like you're at a point where you're healed enough to hear this, or spiritually evolved enough to hear this, I should say. Like, there's been things in your life in the past that you never did before that now you do them. They're part of your routine. They're things that you've leveled up in, like, that past you never would have imagined. And they happened, right? So why should this be any different? Damn. They're having me just, like, lay it on you, but you're my friend and I love you, so it's coming from a good place. Just know that. I just be passionate and very, like, you need to hear it a certain way. Memory. Interesting. I am intrigued. We'll see what comes through. Death. So we have an 11, which is like a portal. We have a 46, which adds up to 10, which is out with the old and with the new. 10 is basically what our whole thing is about. Release your ex. Oh. Okay, so it could be that one of the things that is blocking you is fully releasing the past. Like I said, that might be why you're still kind of stuck in that energy of, like, you know, this isn't gonna happen because you haven't fully let go of things that didn't work out. Or, like, I feel like that because, like, how do I explain this? The sole fact that you're even thinking that way, it could be just as simple as that, like, there's something you need to look at that you haven't let go of, and that's why you still even think that way. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Choice. Literally. And we have the, look at this, the Two of Pentacles, and because that's what I was thinking too. Like, Two of Pentacles sometimes gives me the vibes of a choice. Not always, but sometimes, like, juggling two options and justice. And this is literally, I feel like, both of those cards in one card. We'll see. I wish that I had a little bit more space to lay these out because I don't really want these on top of the cards, honestly. We're gonna do the best that we can do with what we got right now. We'll do this. Sorry if you can't see all of that. That's why I'm showing you. Release your ex. Choice. Ritual. Out with the old, in with the new. Could also be that you're going to be facing like a choice about letting someone from the past back in. And it's really up to you. This could almost be a test before the cycle closes out during this eclipse. And if you pass, you level up, new blessings come in. If you don't, you might have to go around, not to scare you, but you might have to learn a few of the same lessons over again. But and everybody in their own time, maybe that's why I was emphasizing like it's your journey. Ritual, it was also number 10, out with the old, in with the new. Just because you always did it this way, just because you always chose certain people or certain things, or I almost want to say let people, like gave people second chances or third chances until it drove you to your breaking point. It doesn't mean you have to do that moving forward. If you've learned the lesson, because you are in the Queen of Swords energy now. Like, you can see from a mile away when somebody is just not it for you. You know that. You don't have to give someone a chance just because you have history. Like, point blank, period. And I think you need to start saying affirmations to boost your confidence a little bit more around being able to trust in yourself. Because we have the High Priestess reverse also. So it's like sometimes I feel like I don't know if it's like you're not listening to yourself. Yeah, you're not listening to your higher self sometimes. Or like that was always a bad habit that you had in the past. The Mutant, I will take care of myself. Yeah, 27-9, the end of a cycle. Could also be like as an extension of like trusting yourself, like knowing that what's meant for you is going to be for you, even if it is divine timing. And I know that drives us crazy sometimes, but it's for the best, and you got you no matter what in the meantime. You know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna change. And also, by choosing different this time, by choosing to step into the unknown, into a new cycle, that in and of itself is a great act of self-love and self-care. Full intimacy, hey. This adds up to 10, so out with the old and with the new again. And I think you're just not, you're getting really honest with yourself too. You're getting really honest with yourself. Maybe even the memory might be connected to this. And like, I think you really need to give yourself a couple days where you just sit and like, really, if there's somebody that you are having a hard time like letting go of, or a certain situation that happened that has like caused you to like kind of like, you know, caused you to have like issues moving forward, like I think you need to really sit with that and like think about it, and also ask yourself like, okay, this is a good one. Am I, like, have I been romanticizing this situation overall? Because if it didn't work out, chances are you were, to an extent, and, like, there were red flags before. Even things that, like, you ever, like, say something out loud, like, retelling it to your friends or somebody, and then you realize, like, because, like, the more, like, evolved version of you sits there and realizes in that moment, like, how fucked up that was, and the fact that you put up with it was just, like, mind-blowing. This is like that. Banshee. Heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a snail and you can expect bleeding from within. Swallow a nail. I don't know why I said snail. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. And then pregnancy. This could mean change. This could be that you lost a child with somebody, or this could be that you may lose a child with somebody. This could also mean that just big changes, like huge changes, and like you may also, I feel like, because it's kind of telling a story, if you choose like to move on and like move forward and like allow yourself to meet someone better suited, there might be some things that come up in the process of that, but like you're gonna tackle it together. And also this is gonna be somebody that you end up having a child with. So there's a few different messages. Obviously it's collective, take what resonates. Not everything will be for everybody. And then, but I just feel like you're also like, you don't need, like I said a bunch of times, like the energy here is really like you don't have to be on the defense all the time anymore. Like you've healed enough. You're worthy, even if you're not perfect. Okay, so the energy you're coming out of, low-key, this is so befitting because the 5 of Wands in reverse energy, like Aries energy can be very combative. It can be very angry. It can be very impulsive. It can be, honestly, like Aries can give too many chances to the wrong people and things sometimes when they're expressing their shadow aspects. I can say this, and I hope it doesn't offend other Aries because I am an Aries. I know what it is. I've been through it too. Also just impatience. All Aries are impatient. But, so that's the energy you're coming out of. And what's the energy we're moving into? Virgo. Oh, yo, this might be my pile low-key. So, we also had Pisces pop out, and there was something else. What is this? Sagittarius. That's like expansion. But yeah, so maybe whereas like before, like it could also be like, okay, this is good. It could also be like you felt like you were at everybody's beck and call all the time too. In relationships, and you didn't put that energy to yourself, even though Aries can be like self-focused, like that energy. I feel like sometimes Aries has like a bunch of ideas, and they are innovators for sure, but like sometimes they have a lot of trouble grounding their ideas. This Virgo energy is now like you really are getting down to business and like being able to discern who and what deserves your time and what doesn't, and create a structure and a routine around that. Aries, wouldn't necessarily say that they are the poster children for solid routines. So this Virgo energy is going to really help you with that. And honestly, really get yourself to a place where you're so solid that like when this new relationship does come in, you're able to like trust in yourself and allow yourself to let your walls down enough to let this person in and let that unfold. So I'm excited for you. I knew love was gonna come out for at least one pile. But I like the way that this was spun because I feel like they focused more on like your side of it in the sense of like the development of the plot for you, and not so much on like this person and your dynamic. If you want to know, I think I have what's next in love, and there are some traits in there. So, but maybe in the future I'll do one for all about your next person. So anyway, pile 3, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a like. Let me know what happens, or come back and let me know what happens once things unfold in the future in the comments, or let me know what's going on for you during this eclipse right now in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. So I love you, and I'll see you back really soon in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you, I don't know why that was so hard in the beginning. If you chose the evil eye pendant, this is your reading. So let's see what's up today, guys. I don't cherry pick the cards ever, but I did preset the oracle cards, so we'll get into those after the tarot cards. And I shuffled this and cleared the energy. So, all right, Spirit, what is pile 4 leaving behind? I also kept hearing Mask Off by Future right before I turned on the video, so maybe masks are coming off. And when I shuffled, the 7 of Cups reversed came out. So, okay, what else? What is pile 4 letting go of, and what are they bringing in from Eclipse season? I think we should take that one. What's pile 4 letting go of? Wow, for this one, oh, you were hiding, huh? She was hiding. What is pile 4 letting go of and bringing in? So, authenticity, I think we have already established that in the collective message at the beginning. Should I take it? I'm putting it back in. If it's supposed to, they'll find a way. Trust me, they do. They always do. They literally always do. Come on, give me the last one. Oh, bro, come on. There we go. Yeah, this one can be upright. So, you know what? I'm actually gonna move these up. So we have some space. Ten of Wands reversed. The Empress. Hang on, guys. Give me 1 second. You need to protect your energy better. And don't be so available. I want to say that one, like, before we even open. Could also be, that could be why you feel so, like, ungrounded. Okay, you know what? I'm putting this back in because that message. But let me see. We'll see. I'll figure that out later. So 10 of Wands reversed, the Empress, the Sun. Oh, this is awesome. 8 of Swords. 5 of Swords. Okay. 4 of Pentacles. Death. 4 of Cups. It's just weird the way they're giving me a message. It's like, I feel like, okay, you've been giving too freely and like overworking yourself, but I feel like in this new phase, it's like weird. I don't know how this is all gonna come together, but it's okay. Like, you're learning how to just like receive and like be happy and be receptive, and letting go of like scarcity and depression. It's so weird because it gave it to me like reversed. That's so weird. And also like untying yourself from anyone and anything that like pulls on your energy too much. And also like, one thing I want to say is in this new phase, you might be working on not, I almost want to say not crying over spilled milk. Like, not that, you know, you can't feel some type of way about things, but just like, you're not giving your energy away so easily anymore. Like, emotional regulation, we could even say that. Like, whatever will be, will be. And releasing things that you don't get this, like, you're not getting from what you're putting into. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you put forth should multiply because you are abundant. But I feel like by allowing your energy to leak out like this, I guess up until this point in the past, like, you've either stayed in situations for too long or put up with too much, and like have just depleted yourself, and also even kind of like cultivated a lack mindset within yourself that, to be honest, I feel like just innately you don't really have. So I think you're really gonna be letting go of all the things and responsibilities and like expectations that other people have put on you. That's also what the mask off thing is about. Like finding your own voice. Mischief. Exposed. Could also be that you're gonna end up finding out things about people that people have been talking behind your back. Or I almost want to say stay out of drama. Observation. Yeah. Just observe. Don't react. Poppy. Dream. Spirit also might be revealing certain things to you in dreams. You might find that you've been getting spiritual downloads and more spiritual messages, or even just in general explanations about certain things in your dreams. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. I also feel like there is an element of like, be careful that you're not going to become too complacent. Like, yes, this is going to be a time where you can trust. Okay. There is another message. Some people, like, you might have been coming from a chill time. And this is what I was afraid of. Sorry. But this is for some people. You'll know. You might have been coming out of like a really chill time. Maybe even like, it could be like you know, you didn't have to like really figure out what you wanted or what you wanted to do or what like your money, even because maybe like you had people taking care of all that for you, but maybe this is a time where like you're gonna have to learn how to like take charge of that yourself. So maybe that's where this like Five of Swords energy, like like down in the dumps and like death, like the ending of like certain things is coming from. And like, but that's only gonna be for a few of you. That was coming through to an extent though, so I had to bring it through. But always remember, whatever we go through, it's so we can learn from it. We're not being punished. The Telepath. I am compassionate and will show others understanding and respect. Could also be when certain things are brought to your attention that you take the high road, even if you don't agree with it. That you're, maybe even now that you're able to be in that place, whereas in the past maybe you weren't able to. Ideal romance. Journey. Daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you hone. It could also be that with this exposed card, it could also just be like you're having sudden realizations, or like maybe somebody will step forth and like confess their feelings for you. It doesn't have to be like negative or like a Tower moment-esque. Spiritual teacher. Your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. And maybe you will. Maybe it's a time of like reflection and like, you know, chilling, and like your job, maybe where once you used to bust your ass and like not, like I said, not get what you put in. This is going to be a time where you're going to learn that you don't have to exhaust yourself and burn yourself out in order to feel emotionally fulfilled. Or in order to become financially abundant either. I think I want to move this over. So they're like, yeah, it's pretty good. But also, like I said, be careful of that energy of becoming too complacent. And sometimes in certain situations, you know, we have, by taking the high road, I'm not saying let people play with you, but I am saying sometimes we teach people by like not allowing them to take us out of our energy. And like I said, that was one of the things that I feel like you're really mastering right now. We also, at the threshold, we have like 33, which is a master number. It's the number of the ascended master. So you could be honestly like really leveling up spiritually, or even accomplishing like what feels like enlightenment for you. Maybe through a shadow period. Maybe, like I said, some of the things coming like might be like you're gonna face a shadow period, but it's so you can realize certain things. Or you could be there right now, and that's what it's like. It's gonna be like, some people it's gonna be one way and some people it's gonna be the opposite way, and like flip-flopped. You know what I mean? There was a lot of that lately, like in these piles. This pile is about to be pretty short, like I'm not gonna lie. The spirit's being very, like, to the point. I almost feel like you got it. You know. Like, why are you even here? And you are protected. I think that's why they chose this. Okay. So the energy you're coming out of is Aquarius energy. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm clearing. Aquarius energy. So it could have been where I almost feel like you were overly reliant on like social situations or maybe even other people. Like you didn't take charge of things for a long time in your life. Or even like you're very much into like your art and philosophies and maybe even like social dynamics, and you were very preoccupied on things like that, but maybe neglected other aspects of yourself, like spiritually even, or maybe you were very involved like in your spiritual side, and you're starting to find, you know, like kind of find the middle ground, but also like cultivate other aspects of yourself now. And what's this? Libra energy. Could also be that you were like, I know this is like, okay, so Libra. So Aquarians are very, they do things how they think they should, you know, like they're set in their ways. They have their own ways of doing things, and it's hard to tell them different. So I think that's part of it. And I think with the Libra energy that's coming in for you, it's like you're learning how to integrate other people into your life. You're learning how to be a guide for other people, but also really connect with people on a 3D level and like teach them. But really foster positive connections. That's a big one here. Because I'm surprised that there was no Hermit card. But definitely like with the Empress and stuff, that could be like what was in your own way was just feeling like, for some of you, like I said, for one part of this, like you just felt so comfortable on your own and in your zone and doing your own thing, and like, but now the universe is gonna be like pushing you to, you know, show other people. We're in the age of Aquarius, so a lot of social structures and political structures and really just things that we've created thus far in general are gonna start. That's why there's a lot of conflict right now in certain ways. I'm not gonna really go into detail because I don't get political on my channel, but and if you do, like, I'm not the channel for you, like, straight up, like, leave that mess out of here. But there's gonna be, and that's only one aspect of this, that's not really even what I'm referring to, but you're gonna notice like there might be upheaval and controversy in a lot of things that were once widely accepted or allowed, and corruption is going to come to light. And this is, like I said, in many ways, not just like politically. So really what the age of Aquarius is like doing is like we are now grounding like better structures. We're innovating. We are really setting fire to old outdated ideals and finding things that benefit the collective and just like serve humanity as a whole, instead of catering to like just one thing or person. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So, and with Libra energy, like connections are going to be really important with for you to, I think, learn more about yourself. You're going to be learning more about yourself, and
it's so funny because, you know, we can learn a lot about ourselves on our own, but I think it's a whole other level and layer that we peel back when we start to connect to other people. Like, we learn things that, and you know, throughout life we might change, like our opinions, our tastes, some of our ideologies even, or our habits. All these things evolve and they grow, and sometimes we start to believe something that we once didn't entertain the thought of, you know? So this could be something that you're experiencing right now, but honestly, I think maybe even travel. Maybe some travel, because this card always gives me, like, I don't know, maybe you'll be taking, like, a trip to Italy or Greece or something. This card always gives me, like, Italy vibes, though, or, like, Spain, even Portugal. So maybe that's something coming in for you in the next chapter that the eclipse is bringing in for you. Maybe you'll do some work abroad. So, what's that, the name of that? The Peace Corps. Maybe you'll join the Peace Corps. Doesn't have to be, but this is definitely, like, yeah, like forms of, like, help, like charity work, stuff like that. But I love you guys. Maybe even philanthropy. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. This one was more to the point and shorter. But if you liked it, please don't forget to drop me a like and tell me about what you're experiencing through this eclipse in the comments. I love to hear all your stories and get to know you guys better. So let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I love you. Bye.